Ravi stood in front of the mirror, adjusting the coat his grandmother had given him. It was old, but elegant, deep blue with silver threads that shimmered under the light. He didn't know much about fashion, but the elders at the Earth Council told him to wear something traditional for the Galactic Peace Forum. So he chose this. This should be fine, he said quietly to himself, then stepped out of his room. The Galactic Peace Forum was held on Orcs Station, a giant city floating in space where delegates from hundreds of alien species met. Earth had only recently joined the Galactic Union, and Ravi was selected as one of the first human cultural representatives. He was young, calm, and had a peaceful nature, which made him the perfect person for the job. The room where the ceremony was held was huge, filled with light and music from across the stars. Walls shimmered with energy. Delegates from different planets sat in floating chairs. Some had wings, others had glowing eyes, some even had no faces at all. In the center, a platform stood ready for the two main figures of the event, Ravi from Earth and Princess Mira from the Taraxi. The Taraxi were a respected race in the galaxy. They were tall, their skin smooth like stone, eyes bright like crystals. Mira was their youngest diplomat, known for her curiosity and gentle heart. She had read about humans for months and was eager to meet one in person. As Ravi stepped onto the platform, he saw Mira already waiting. She bowed slightly and he copied her gesture. Their eyes met and they both smiled politely. Then came the official greeting. It was simple. The two would place hands on each other's shoulder for 3 seconds, a sign of peace. Mira reached out and gently placed her hand on Ravi's coat. Her smile faded. She looked down at the fabric under her fingers. Her expression changed. Eyes wide, lips parted in shock. She pulled her hand back quickly. "What's wrong?" Ravi asked, confused. But before she could answer, alarms rang out through the chamber. A loud voice echoed from the walls, repeating a message in several languages. Bonding ritual activated. Sacred link formed. Air in progress. Ravi blinked. What did it just say? Gasps spread through the room. Delegates began whispering, some even standing up in panic or surprise. Taraxi guards rushed forward. Mira was quickly surrounded by her people. One of the elders, an older Taraxi male with golden markings on his robe, stepped forward and pointed at Ravi. "You have touched the sacred fabric. The princess has responded. The ritual is complete. The heir will come." "What? What heir? What ritual? I don't even know what's going on," Ravi said, backing away. Another guard held up a scanner, pointed it at Mira, then stared at the result. "She carries the life spark. She is with child." The room went silent. Ravi felt like the floor had vanished beneath him. "What?" The Earth delegation rushed in, trying to calm the situation. Ambassador Lena, an older woman with short white hair, stepped in front of Ravi. "This is impossible," Lena said. "Humans and Taraxi can't. This can't happen by touching a coat." But the Taraxi elder shook his head. "Our race is biosensitive. Some fabrics hold ancient codes. If touched during the ritual, they awaken life. This has not happened in 500 years. And now, it has." Mira stood in the center, silent, looking at her hands. She wasn't angry. She wasn't afraid. She just looked confused. "I only touched his coat," she said softly. "But it felt warm, like a memory. Then something inside me changed." Ravi looked down at the coat. This old thing? It belonged to my grandmother, she said. It was made from a special kind of earth silk, from a tribe long gone. One of the Taraxi scientists asked, "What is this silk made of?" "I don't know. It was hand-woven. My grandmother said the insects that made it were extinct now." The Taraxi looked shocked. "Extinct? That could explain it. If your fabric carries ancient biocode, it may have matched the princess's bond receptors. This was not random. This was a perfect match. Ravi sat down on a nearby bench, his hands on his face. I was just trying to look good. The news spread across Aura Station in minutes. Within the hour, the entire galaxy knew. Human diplomat accidentally bonds with Taroxy princess. Unexpected air shakes Galactic Council. Earth's genetic power awakens ancient ritual. Back on Earth, people were just as shocked. News channels tried to explain. Scientists argued about genetic codes and bioreactive silk, but none of it made things easier for Ravi or Mira. That night, Ravi was placed in protective housing. Mira, too, was kept under heavy watch. Both were forbidden to leave the station. In her chamber, Mira looked out at the stars. She didn't feel strange. She felt peaceful, calm, as if something inside her had settled. In his room, Ravi sat with Lena. I didn't mean for any of this, he said. I know, she replied. But now the galaxy sees Earth differently. You and Mira have started something big, whether we like it or not. He sighed. So what now? Lena looked at him. Now, the galaxy wants answers, and you are the one they're watching. A day after the incident, the Galactic News Network showed only one thing: Ravi and Princess Mira. Every planet, every station, every screen flashed the same headlines: Human and Taroxy princess linked by accident. Heir of peace or weapon of power? Earth's silk coat shakes the stars. Some laughed, some feared, but most were deeply curious. The galaxy had seen many strange events, but never something like this. In a tall glass tower on Aura Station, Ravi sat on a soft chair, surrounded by guards and scientists. The place looked nice, but it felt like a cage. He wasn't allowed to leave, and everything he did was being watched. He rubbed his forehead. How did this happen? Just from a coat? A human scientist stood nearby, scanning the coat with a small device. This is not just a coat, Ravi, she said. The threads have microscopic life markers. They match certain alien biosignals. It's rare, but possible. Ravi sighed. So I wore ancient bug thread, and now a princess is carrying a space baby? The scientist smiled awkwardly. In a way, yes. Meanwhile, in a secured chamber across the station, Princess Mira sat quietly. Taroxy elders stood beside her, whispering in their deep language. She nodded, listening carefully, but her thoughts were far away. She kept thinking of that moment, the feeling when she touched the coat. It was like a song, soft and warm. Something had awakened inside her. She didn't feel pain or sickness. Instead, she felt whole. Suddenly, one of the Taroxy elders turned toward her. The council demands we take you back to the homeworld, he said. They fear what this new life may become. But I want to understand it first. Mira replied softly. This was not done in harm. Ravi is kind. I do not feel fear. But the galaxy does, the elder said. And he was right. Across the stars, alien governments reacted. On Veltra 4, leaders gathered in panic. Earth has unlocked a bonding power. This child could control Taroxy energy, one shouted. They must be trying to create hybrid beings, said another. On Zeluan Prime, an insect-like species held a meeting. We must study the human silk. It may awaken things in us too. And in the Galactic Council chamber, high above the orbit of a blue sun, the top leaders of the galaxy held an emergency meeting. Is this a threat? One asked. Or a gift, said another. Should Earth be punished? Or protected? Opinions were divided. Some feared Earth's rising influence. Others saw an opportunity. Back on Aura Station, Earth's ambassador Lena paced back and forth. Her voice was firm, her face serious. We didn't plan any of this, she told the council through a video call. It was a cultural misunderstanding. A traditional coat made from old silk. That's all. But the council's speaker, a creature with 6 eyes and a voice like thunder, leaned forward. Intent does not erase impact. The child exists. The ritual is real, and the galaxy is watching. Soon, Ravi's room turned into a lab. Teams of alien scientists requested to study him. They tested his blood, his clothes, even his breath. One alien, shaped like a floating jellyfish, spoke kindly to Ravi. "You carry strong life energy. Your kind may have more power than we believed." "I'm not special," Ravi replied. "I just wore my grandma's coat." "But that is the point," the jellyfish replied. "You did nothing, yet life happened." Outside the station, crowds gathered. Some held signs. "Let the child be born. Earth Taroxy Peace Child. Unity." "No more hybrids." Security grew tight. Reporters flew drones near Ravi's window. Some alien ships even tried to dock without permission, demanding to see him. Ravi stared through the window at the stars beyond. "I didn't ask for this," he whispered. "Why me?" That evening, something strange happened. A soft light appeared in Ravi's room. At first, he thought it was a reflection, but then it formed into a glowing shape, a connection beam. It was Mira. She stood on the other side, speaking, through a private hologram link. "Hello, Ravi," she said with a small smile. He stood up quickly. "Mira, are you okay?" "Yes. Just watched too closely, like you." They both sat facing the light, their images connected. "I don't feel bad," she said. "Whatever is growing inside me, it's not hurting. It's calm, like a soft light in my chest." "I didn't mean for any of this," Ravi said. "I just wanted to represent Earth. Now everyone thinks we planned something. I know you didn't. I can feel it. The bond is strong but not dangerous." There was silence for a moment. Then Mira spoke again. "They call it a child, but it is not growing like a baby. It's energy. I can feel it shaping me, but also learning from me." Ravi nodded. "What do we do now?" "We face it together," she replied. "If they fear us, we show them peace. If they want answers, we speak the truth." The next morning, the Galactic Council called for a public hearing. Ravi and Mira were to stand before the galaxy and explain everything. Ambassador Lena entered Ravi's room. "You ready?" she asked. "No," he said honestly, "but I'll go anyway." She smiled. "That's what makes you human." Ravi walked into the council chamber. The seats were full, lights flashed, eyes watched, voices whispered, and across from him, Mira stood tall, dressed in her silver royal robes. Together, they stepped onto the platform. One council member asked, "The first question, did you or did Earth plan this union?" Ravi shook his head. "No, it was an accident, a simple coat, a simple greeting." "And the child?" the council asked. Mira answered calmly. "It is not a weapon. It is not a threat. It is something new, a bridge, a chance." The room fell quiet. In that moment, for the first time, the galaxy listened, not with fear, but with wonder. The next morning, Ravi sat in a quiet room inside the research center of Orcs Station. Around him, human and alien scientists worked together, studying the now famous silk coat that caused everything. It was carefully placed on a glass table, glowing faintly under a scanner. A human biologist named Dr. Mira, with kind eyes and calm hands, looked at the coat closely. She had been working for hours, running test after test. "I've never seen anything like this," she said. "The threads are alive, not in the way we think of life, but they react. They change." Ravi sat nearby, watching silently. "So, it really wasn't just a normal coat?" he asked. "No," Mira replied. "It's made from a rare kind of silk." Your grandmother said it came from a small tribe? Ravi nodded. Yes, she called them the Sky Weavers. They lived in the high mountains. The insects they raised were different, larger, brighter, but they died out long ago. Dr. Mira stared at the scans. This silk isn't just fabric. It carries a biocode. It speaks to certain life forms. When Mira touched it, her body read the signal and activated something deep in her DNA. Ravi leaned forward. But how could silk do that? Mira pointed to the screen. Because this isn't just silk. It holds nanostructures. Tiny, natural machines created by those insects. Earth forgot them. But other species, like the Toroxy, are sensitive to these signals. Their biology listens. Ravi blinked. So my grandma's coat spoke to Mira's body and told it to create life? In simple words. Yes. Across the station, Princess Mira sat with her own scientists. The Toroxy had brought ancient scrolls, glowing with strange writing and symbols. An elder named Horan, wise and gentle, explained to her. Long ago our people bonded not by blood but by energy. Two souls touching the right item at the right time could create new life. Not physical at first, but pure energy. From that, a new being would grow. Mira looked down at her hands. And this is what happened with me? Horan nodded. You touched a human object that carried life code. Your body responded. It remembered our past. But how did humans create this silk? She asked. We believe, Horan said, that humans and Toroxy may share a forgotten connection. Your silk and our memory are pieces of the same story. Back in the lab, more discoveries were being made. The scientists learned that the silk threads held a rare protein, Q47. It was unknown to modern science, but seemed to match old galactic biosignatures. Alien researchers from the Belnar race, who had 8 long fingers and golden skin, joined the study. This Q47 protein, one of them said, is only found in extinct species, but your coat still holds it. That means the insects on Earth may have been ancient energy holders. Wait, Ravi said. So Earth bugs were carrying space-level biology? Maybe, the Belnar replied. Or maybe Earth was part of something greater long ago. The Galactic Council received the reports quickly. A message was sent. Across the stars, human silk contains ancient universal protein. Biological reaction confirmed. Child is real. Reactions were strong. On Toroxy Prime, celebrations began. The people danced in the streets singing songs of the Star Union. On Earth, governments called emergency meetings. Scientists everywhere searched for old samples of the Sky Weaver's silk. Other planets demanded answers. If Earth holds such power, they must share it. We need this silk. We must study it. But Earth's ambassador, Lena, stood firm. This silk was an accident. We didn't create it to control life. We want peace, not power. Meanwhile, Ravi and Mira were brought together for a second meeting, this time in a calm, private chamber filled with plants and soft lights. They sat across from each other. Between them, a small table held a glass orb glowing faintly. Mira looked at the orb. That's the life forming inside me. Ravi nodded slowly. It doesn't look like a baby. Because it isn't one yet, she said. It's still choosing its form. It learns from us, from our thoughts, our feelings. Ravi watched the soft light inside the orb pulse gently, like a heartbeat. I've been scared, he admitted. So have I, she replied. But now I feel calm, like we were meant to be part of something bigger. They both looked at the orb again. It shimmered in response, as if listening. Outside the chamber, news continued to spread. Galactic leaders now debated if Earth should be protected or feared. Some said this silk could bring peace between species. Others warned, what if it falls into the wrong hands? A group of alien scientists made a request. Allow us to take the coat and the child to a research moon for deep study. Earth refused. Ambassador Lena made a speech. This coat belongs to Earth. The life it awakened belongs to both our people, human and Turoxi. We will not allow it to be taken or used as a tool. The Galactic Council agreed to delay judgment, but in secret, some factions started making plans. That night, Ravi stood by the window in his room. The stars looked close, but cold. The door opened softly, and Lena entered. "You've done well," she said. "I don't feel like it," Ravi replied. "Everyone still wants something. The child, the coat, my DNA." She smiled gently. "You're more than your DNA. You've shown the galaxy that humans are not just watchers. We're part of the great story now." Ravi nodded. "Do you think the child will really be born?" "Yes," Lena said. "And I think it will change everything." Ravi looked back at the stars. "I just hope it changes things for the better." The news of the Silk Code and the unborn child had shaken the galaxy. But instead of bringing peace, it brought a new problem. Who had the right to decide what happened next? Many alien leaders believed the child belonged to the Galactic Union, not to Earth or Turoxi alone. Some said Ravi must marry Princess Mira as part of the ancient bonding law. Others said the child should be taken to a neutral planet and raised under galactic rule. The arguments grew louder, and so a galactic court hearing was called. It would take place on Auris Station, under the great glass dome of the Unity Hall. Delegates from over 100 worlds were invited. Ravi and Mira would both speak. The galaxy wanted answers. On the day of the hearing, Ravi stood in front of a mirror again. This time, he wore a plain gray robe, no silk, no patterns, just simple cloth. "You look fine," said Ambassador Lena. She stood behind him, fixing the collar. "Remember, speak from your heart. Don't try to impress anyone." "I'm not good with speeches," Ravi said. "You don't need to be. Just be honest." In another room, Mira prepared as well. Her robe was white with soft silver lines, symbols of her people's truth and peace. Her face was calm, but her hands were shaking slightly. "You don't have to be afraid," said Elder Horan. "You speak for more than just yourself today." "I know," Mira replied. "I speak for the life inside me, and for peace." The Unity Hall was full. Delegates sat in floating seats, forming a wide circle. The center platform was empty, waiting. A loud voice called out, "Bring forth the bonded." Ravi and Mira stepped forward and stood side by side. The council speaker, a tall being with silver skin and glowing eyes, began the questions. "Ravi of Earth, did you touch the princess with the intent to create a bond?" "No," Ravi said, clearly. "I didn't even know such a thing was possible. I wore my grandmother's coat because it was special to me, that's all." "Princess Mira, did you agree to this bond?" "No," Mira answered. "But when it happened, I did not reject it. I felt something good. Something important." The speaker nodded. "The child now grows between your two lives. This has caused panic, hope, and confusion. The galaxy demands to know. What do you both wish to do with this life?" Ravi looked around the hall. So many eyes watched him. He took a breath. "I didn't ask for this," he said. "But now that it's real, I won't walk away. I won't let this child be taken or used. It's not a weapon or a science project. It's a part of me. And of Mira." Mira stepped forward. "I will protect this life. Not because the law says I must, but because I believe it was born from something good. And I want to give it a future." Another delegate floated forward. "Then do you agree to be joined under the old ritual? To marry and raise this child as one?" Mira and Ravi looked at each other. There was a long pause. Then Mira spoke. "No. We respect each other and we will stand together. But we do not wish to be forced into a bond we did not choose." Ravi nodded. "We are friends. That is enough." Whispers spread through the hall. Some were shocked. Others seemed to understand. Another voice spoke up. This time from a tall, thin being with green skin. But the child is powerful. It may carry energy never seen before. Who will teach it? Who will guide it? Ravi raised his hand. We both will. With help, with peace, not with control. Mira added, we will let the child grow free, not as a symbol of fear, but of hope. The council fell silent. Then, after a long moment, the speaker made the decision. The Galactic Union recognizes the bond as real. The child shall remain under joint care of Earth and Turoxi. No forceful marriage will be required. Both parents will share equal guidance. Earth is now responsible for further research and protection of Silk origin biosignals. A gentle sound filled the hall. It was the official tone of agreement. The case was closed. After the hearing, Ravi and Mira were taken to a quiet garden within the station. It was full of tall trees and glowing flowers. A small stream flowed nearby. Ravi sat on a stone bench. Mira joined him. We did it, he said. Mira smiled. We told them the truth, and they listened. They sat quietly for a while, watching the stars above through the glass dome. Then Mira said something unexpected. I think the child is listening to us. Ravi turned to her. How do you know? Because every time we speak kindly, I feel a warmth inside. And when we argue or worry, it fades. Ravi looked at the stars. Then let's always speak with hope. That night, Ambassador Lena called a meeting. Earth is now seen as a powerful culture, she said. We must act wisely. We'll form a science team, a peace council, and a cultural bridge with Turoxi. The child is more than a life. It's a new path. Ravi listened quietly. He was no longer just a young man in a coat. Now he was part of something much greater. In a quiet room far away, the silk coat rested under glass, guarded and protected. But even now, the threads shimmered softly, glowing with the memory of a bond that changed the galaxy. The days passed slowly on Orcs Station, but for Ravi and Mira, time moved faster than ever. The child inside Mira was no longer just a secret. It was becoming something remarkable. In the quiet chamber where Mira stayed, soft light filled the room. The orb that held the child's energy pulsed gently, changing colors with every passing hour. Ravi visited often. Each time he saw something new. One day, as he entered the room, Mira was sitting peacefully, her hands resting over the glowing orb. It feels different today, she said softly. Ravi looked closely. The orb was brighter, humming with a soft sound. I think it's trying to speak, Mira said. Ravi smiled. Speak? How? Not with words like us, she explained. It sends feelings, warmth, curiosity, and sometimes joy. Ravi reached out his hand toward the orb. As he did, a gentle wave of energy flowed from it, touching his skin like a soft breeze. It's alive, he whispered. News of the child's strange abilities spread quickly. Some called it the Starborn, a being that was neither fully human nor fully Turoxi, but something new. Scientists and diplomats gathered around, watching closely. A team of specialists from different planets was formed. They came with many tools, devices to scan energy, record thoughts, and measure feelings. Among them was Jin, a calm and wise healer from the planet Velmara, who was known for understanding life forces. Jin observed Mira and the orb with quiet interest. This child, Jin said, is made of many parts. It carries human warmth, Turoxi energy, and something ancient. It is a new life form, Ravi asked. Is it safe? Jin nodded. More than safe. It is a gift. But not everyone was happy. A secret group called the Shadow Syndicate made of several alien species, believed the child could be used as a weapon. They sent spies to watch the chamber, hoping to steal the child's energy. One night, a warning alarm rang through the station. Ravi and Mira were quickly escorted to safety as security forces rushed to find the intruders. Though the spies were caught, the event reminded everyone that the child was important and dangerous to some. In the days that followed, Mira found new strength inside herself. She could feel the child's energy growing, and it began to show in her own abilities. 1. Afternoon, Ravi watched as Mira gently closed her eyes. Suddenly, the room filled with a soft blue light. "Look," she said, opening her eyes slowly. Her hands glowed faintly, and tiny sparks floated around her fingers. Ravi's mouth opened in surprise. "You're controlling the energy?" "Yes," Mira smiled. "It teaches me. We are connected." The bond between them was stronger than ever. They didn't just share the child's life. They shared feelings, hopes, and fears. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council watched carefully. They held meetings to discuss what this new life could mean. Some members believed the Starborn could become a bridge between species, bringing peace to old conflicts. Others worried it could upset the balance of power. One council member said, "If this child can control energy, it could end wars or start them." Ravi listened to the talks with concern. He turned to Lena one evening. "Do you think the galaxy is ready for this?" She nodded. "We have no choice but to try." Back on Aura Station, Mira and Ravi worked closely with scientists and diplomats. They created a special program to teach the child about the galaxy's many worlds. The child responded to music from Earth, stories from Taroxy, and images from other planets. It grew, learning quickly. One day, as Ravi was leaving the chamber, Mira called out to him, "Wait, Ravi! I want to show you something." She led him back inside. The orb was shining brightly. Suddenly, it expanded into a soft form, a small, glowing figure floating above the table. The figure had no clear shape, but shimmered with colors of blue, silver, and green. "It's trying to take shape," Mira said. Ravi smiled. "It's beautiful." The figure moved gently, reaching toward them. Ravi felt a wave of warmth spread through him. "This is more than a child," he said. "It's hope." At night, Mira and Ravi sat, quietly, watching the glowing figure. They knew the future was uncertain, but together they believed anything was possible. The galaxy had changed. The event that began with a simple coat had turned Earth from a quiet, distant world into a center of attention. Now, with the Starborn growing and the peace talks underway, humanity faced its greatest moment. Inside the Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council, a vote was about to take place. The question was clear. Should Earth be given a permanent seat on the Council, recognizing its new role in galactic affairs? Ravi stood quietly among the observers, feeling the weight of the moment. The hall was packed with representatives from every corner of the galaxy. Some watched him with curiosity, others with caution. Ambassador Lena stood beside him, her face calm but serious. "This is it," she whispered. "Your speech could change everything." Ravi took a deep breath. He had prepared many words, but knew that honesty was his greatest strength. When the council's leader, a tall being with shining silver eyes, called his name, Ravi stepped forward. He looked out over the crowd. "Honored members of the Galactic Council," he began, "I am just a simple person from Earth. I never wanted to be famous or powerful. But through a strange accident, I found myself part of something greater." He paused, feeling the eyes of the galaxy upon him. "This child, the Starborn, is not just a symbol of Earth or Taroxy. It is a symbol of hope. It shows that we can come together, even across stars and species, to create life, peace, and understanding. Murmurs passed through the crowd. Ravi continued. Earth is ready to share knowledge, culture, and friendship with all of you. We ask not for power or control, but for the chance to be part of the great family of the galaxy. When he finished, the chamber fell silent. Then, one by one, the council members began to vote. The final result was announced. Earth would receive a permanent seat on the Galactic Council. The hall erupted in applause. Ravi smiled, feeling hope bloom inside him. After the vote, Mira joined Ravi. You spoke well, she said. You too, he replied. They walked together through the gardens of Orcs Station, where flowers glowed softly and water sang gently. We did this together, Mira said. Earth and Taroxy, old and new. Ravi nodded. The child is a new path, but so are we. They stopped by the chamber where the Starborn waited. The glowing figure pulsed softly, shining with colors of peace. Ravi reached out his hand, and the figure responded with a warm light. Days later, Earth sent teams to learn from the Starborn's energy and silk origins. Scientists and diplomats worked side by side with the Taroxy. The silk coat, once a simple family heirloom, was now carefully preserved in the Galactic Museum. It was a reminder of how small things could change history. But not all were happy. Some factions worried Earth's new role was too fast. They do not understand our ways, said one alien leader. We must watch closely. Others feared the Starborn's power. What if it chooses to control, not to unite? Ravi heard these words but chose to believe in the good. One evening, as stars shone brightly outside, Mira and Ravi sat in quiet. We must protect the child, Mira said. From those who fear change, Ravi nodded. And from those who want to use it. Together they made plans for a future where the Starborn could grow free and strong. As the Starborn's energy grew, it began to take on more solid form. It could move softly through the room and respond to voices. Its first word, spoken gently in a voice like the wind, was peace. Ravi and Mira smiled. This was more than a child. This was the galaxy's hope. The soft light in the chamber grew brighter as the Starborn prepared to fully enter the galaxy. Ravi and Mira stood nearby, holding hands, waiting for the moment that would change everything. For many weeks, the glowing figure had grown from a small energy orb into a form that floated gracefully in the air. It had no clear shape like a human or a Taroxy, but shimmered with colors of blue, green, and silver, shifting and flowing like water. Scientists and diplomats gathered around, watching silently. Cameras recorded every moment. The entire galaxy was watching through live transmissions. Suddenly, the light pulsed, and a gentle voice filled the room. Peace, it said. The word floated softly in the air like a whisper on the wind. The room fell silent. Ravi felt a warm feeling inside his chest. Mira smiled softly, tears in her eyes. This is the Starborn, she said. The living promise of hope. The glowing figure reached out a hand made of light and touched both Ravi and Mira. A wave of energy passed through them, connecting all three in a bond deeper than words. In that moment, the Starborn's light grew even brighter, filling the room with calm and joy. After the event, the Starborn spoke more, but not with words alone. It shared feelings of kindness, love, and understanding. It learned quickly from those around it, eager to know about Earth, Taroxy, and the many other worlds. Ravi watched the Starborn grow, amazed. It is learning who it is, he said one day. Mira nodded. It is both of us and more. It carries the spirit of many. As days passed, the Starborn's influence spread. Conflicts between alien species slowly began to ease. Old grudges were forgotten, replaced by curiosity and hope. Leaders met more often, Speaking of peace, Ravi and Mira traveled across the galaxy with the Starborn, visiting planets and meeting people. Everywhere they went, the Starborn's light inspired kindness. On Zorax, a war-torn planet, the Starborn helped bring peace between rival clans. On Velmara, it healed broken lands with its energy. Everywhere, the Starborn showed that unity was possible. But the journey was not always easy. Some still feared the Starborn's power. Such a being is unnatural, they said. Others wanted to control it for their own ends. Ravi and Mira stood firm, protecting the Starborn and teaching it the meaning of freedom and choice. One evening, as they rested on a quiet hill on Oris Station, Ravi looked at Mira. "We never expected this," he said. "No," Mira smiled. "But it is our future." The Starborn floated nearby, shining softly. "It shows us that even the smallest things, a coat, a touch, can change the course of history." Ravi nodded. "We are all part of this new story." The silk coat, once just a family treasure, was placed in the Galactic Museum. Visitors came from across the stars to see it, the symbol of unity and hope. Ravi and Mira often returned to the museum, remembering how it all began. As the Starborn grew stronger, it took on more solid form. One day it looked more like a shining being with eyes full of light and a gentle smile. It spoke a final message to the galaxy. Together we are stronger. Together we are one. Peace is our future. The crowd listening cheered and wept with joy. Years passed, and the Starborn became a great leader and ambassador. It helped all species work together, ending old wars and starting new friendships. Ravi and Mira watched proudly, knowing they had been part of something incredible. Their story, started by a simple coat and a touch, had changed the galaxy forever.